So what you need to know about me is that I'm a planner. When I was a kid, my dad told me, Rick, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So I planned. And funny thing happened, when I planned something, it happened. Not every time, but more often than not, when I planned something out, it happened. So I used this to my advantage. I planned out everything in high school, where I was gonna go to college, what majors, sports, activities, etc. I planned on meeting my wife before I graduated. I figured I'd get married around 26 years old. I even planned where I would get married and taking this picture at this exact spot. I planned my career, what job I was gonna take. I really wanted to work for this company in Key West, Florida, a treasure salvaging company. So we're living in Key West, Florida, hunting for treasure. We're fishing, we're having a great time. It was just wonderful. And my wife and I, we're really happy, and we got together and we thought, well, what would make us happier? Because we're living the dream right now. Kids. Kids, they'll make us happier, right? I mean, other people are happy, they've got kids. And so I came from a family of all boys, and my wife, if you saw a picture of her when she was a little girl, she had this really fat face. So we got together and we thought, I'm gonna plan this out. We're gonna have a little girl, we got a hippie name for her. She's gonna have this giant fat face and these blonde curly locks. And then I woke up one morning and there were 3 little boys in my home calling me dad. And nothing has gone according to plan since then. So this is my group. We've got Jefferson and then Tyler and Jeremiah. My second son, when he was born, his name is Tyler, and we noticed that he was slow. Certainly wasn't as fast as his older brother. He was slow, quirky behaviors. He melted down a lot. He was a bull in a china shop. He couldn't keep still. He had sensory issues. Even in this picture, he cannot put that ball of thread down. That yarn used to be a blanket, and he just always was sniffing. And we ran all the doctors, and he had several different diagnoses, autism being the primary diagnosis. And so we really had a lot of problems with this one boy. We didn't want to go out. We stayed in because we knew he was always going to get in trouble. And actually, for the first 10 years of our life with children, we did not take a single family picture. All the pictures are either with me and the 3 boys or with my wife and the 3 boys, because there always had to be someone trying to maneuver and figure things out. So this is a typical family picture for us. It's kind of like we took this picture, I asked a stranger if he would take it, and I'm yelling at him, look, just take the picture. Like, we can't go anywhere without meltdowns, without something breaking, strangers judging us. He had a BIP, a behavioral intervention plan, and it wasn't working. School was not working. There was no growth. There was a ton of stress, and it filtered into our marriage, and it was just not a good time. Now, this is our Facebook post, okay? This is where we show our friends how good we're doing, how cute we are, how rad the Danes are. But in actuality, our marriage was in the crapper. The daily routine was maddening. There was no escape from madness, except, well, really sleep. So sleep, I love sleep. You know, after the end of a hard day and you hit the pillow and you just love sleep. Well, I loved sleep. Well, one day I hit the pillow and I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, this bear jumps on top of me, and the bear is yelling at me, and the voice slightly resembles my wife's voice. And the bear says, we have an IEP and no one knows what they're doing. You don't know what you're doing. I don't know what we're doing. Teachers don't know what they're doing. Administrators don't know what they're doing. You need to get up. We need answers. We gotta have answers. And so I got up and we talked about this big IEP we were gonna have the next day. I know y'all call it ARD in Texas, but we hashed it out. We got mad. We cried. We were mad at everybody. We were mad at each other. We were mad at the teacher. We were mad at God. We were mad at anyone and everything to cross our path. Well, the next day we had that IEP meeting, and it was a difficult IEP, 4 hours long. We had attorneys. They had attorneys. It was ugly, and after 4 hours, there were no viable solutions that would help our son. And it was really a difficult situation. In fact, my wife took a picture of me. This is me standing up from that table after a 4-hour IEP. So my wife was not happy. I wasn't happy, and I came home and I immediately checked into the doghouse. The doghouse is where I go to avoid communication with my wife. It means zero communication. When I tried to communicate with my wife, it was like this. This is what happens when you focus on problems and not solution. The alternative to living in the doghouse is confronting Mama Bear. She's in Mama Bear mode. Every time I look at my wife, I saw this. And every time she looked at me, she saw this. Now, this went on for far too long. When our third son was evaluated, he came back with an Asperger's diagnosis. I thought, seriously? Is this really happening? This isn't a part of any of my plans at all. I just wanted to be happy. It was like, is that too much to ask for? In my eyes, we had hit rock bottom. And in an effort to save our marriage and everything, I called my mom and I said, Mom, we're not doing so hot. She said, oh, you think? Moms know. I mean, they know. And I said, Robin and I, we need to get away. Just the two of us. Would you please watch our kids? And she said, sure. I said, listen, I don't care if they don't go to piano, if they don't go to soccer. I don't care if they miss the birthday party. I don't care if they don't go to school. I don't care if you feed them fast food every single day. I don't care about any of that. As long as they're alive when we get back. That's all I care about. It's the first time we'd ever left our kids. And I found a cheap Mexican vacation. We found a beach, no buses, no teachers, no phone, no work, no nothing. Just the two of us with no outside communication was the best thing we could have ever done. Now, before this, we'd gone to a lot of conferences. We'd read a lot of books. We did a lot of training. Took a lot of logs. We did all those things that the therapists and the trainers and the teachers were all telling us about. And I did a lot of writing. So sleep was my escape, yes, but writing became my therapy. And I brought all of these writings with us, everything that worked, everything that didn't work, and we focused on change. There were certain things that we really had to change. So we had to figure out, look, this is our life. This is our reality check. We had to create memories. We had to figure out this ARD thing, this IEP ARD thing. We didn't know what that was. Like, how do we go into those meetings and succeed? Mama Bear, what happens to my wife? What happens to me when we have extra stressors? What do we become, and how are we aware of it? Getting my butt kicked, this is gonna be difficult. The teachers, the antecedents, the things that trigger my son to have outbursts and emotions, priorities, and POGs. POGs are huge. POG stands for Parents Only Getaway, and they became a really important part of what we did. And so we changed. And you know how hard it is to change like your routine? It was really difficult. It was really difficult, but we changed. We focused on those things that would bring us success and bring us happiness. And we became shiny, happy parents. I mean, we really became happy, seriously happy. And then my wife came to me one day and she said, Rick, now that we're doing so well and we've got our son in a good place and we've got this IEP, ARDS down, and we're doing this, I think we need to go back to our original plan. And I thought, our original plan? What? I mean, what are you talking about? She said, our original plan? And I said, oh, like, you want to have a girl? Like, you want another child? Like, we're doing okay now with 3, but we can't have another. And she really wanted to go for that girl. I said, we can't have a girl. We can't make girls. We've tried 3 times to have a girl. We just can't do it. Well, when things are going well, you make decisions. And we went for it. And guess what we got? We got her. the cheeks, the eyes, the blonde curly hair. And it was the only thing that we had planned since our first child was born that actually happened. Well, I kept writing and learning and growing, and we were actually happy. And life kept going, and my wife said, so our daughter's name is Summer, and she's as sweet as can be. And my wife came to me one day and she said, "Hey, Rick, Summer, she needs a friend." But, yeah, she'll have friends. No, she needs a friend. She's got friends. She's got 3 older brothers. No, those brothers are up here, and there's a 5-year gap. And she really needs a friend because they'll all be gone when she's in high school and she'll need a friend. I said, "You're kidding me, right?" And she needs a friend. So, all right. So, we'll just have a clone of her, right? She's sweet. We've got the girl room. We've got the girl toys. We've got the accessories. We've got the dolls. Just have a clone. So we planned out we'd have a clone of Summer. And guess what we got? We got Eli. And Eli has Down syndrome and autism, a dual diagnosis. And he is everything to us. He's just amazing. So my wife and I, we're very happy. We still have our ups and downs, but we just celebrated. We're busy. We're busy as you can imagine. And we just celebrated 22 years, our 22-year anniversary. I know, round of applause. 22 years for Rick and Robin Danes. And in fact, here's a picture of us out celebrating that night, our 22-year anniversary. Here we are. So I wrote a book about our failures and our successes, what works and what doesn't. Everything I wish one of you had told me 15 years ago when we started on this journey. And I have a hard time doing anything seriously, so it's pretty funny. But it's called Keep It Together, Man, for dads with a special kid. And then this is what we look like today. Fast forward to the present day. This is us. We've got 3 kids on the spectrum. Big T, who my book is mostly written about, is the big kid in the middle of those 2. He's going into his junior year in high school. My son, just younger than him, is going into his freshman year. The tall, skinny kid is in college now. And then you've got Summer, who's going into 4th grade, and Eli, who's going into 1st grade. Now, our kids didn't get better until our marriage got better. And our marriage didn't get better until we got ourselves in a better place. And sometimes you need to take a step back, gain a different perspective or a new perspective, and evaluate and make things better. And right now, we need to seriously make things better.